Former White Sox is in the news. He's obviously now in Boston, been there a while. Chris Sale underwent surgery on a fractured right wrist, suffered in a bike accident on Saturday. He is out for the year. This season has been just so bizarre for him. Freaky injury after freaky injury. And you see the injury history going back to 2018, but focus on the bottom. Rib cage stress fracture, broken finger. We saw that in the comeback a couple of weeks ago. And then a broken wrist on the bike accident. Chaim Bloom checked in on Chris Sale and the whole situation in Beantown.
Yeah, you couldn't make this up, right? We need to dispatch some people to go find whoever has the Chris Sale voodoo doll and recover it. Very glad that this wasn't worse, but it's been such a run of bad luck for him and obviously for us. When Brad was calling me to tell me about the biking accident, he said, you should have seen him throw at BC. He looked great. We obviously had not gotten to the point of putting a timetable on it, but we all felt pretty good that he was going to come back and pitch the season.
Okay, so no Chris Sale. Bill Ripken on the Red Sox. Where are you with this team?
Wow, where do you start? When you're the Red Sox, we were just talking about the White Sox with all those things that were going on, they should be playing better, no doubt about that. You look at the left side of the infield alone for me when you talk about the Boston Red Sox, because I think that's their strong point. Would anybody in baseball, 25, 26 other teams, trade for probably the shortstop, third baseman combination to put those guys into the mix? I just don't quite get it. I don't understand. There's been a different group of reasons why this, that, or whatever else. But every team's had certain things that go on this year. We talked about the White Sox, their injuries. The Boston Red Sox are doing it right now. For whatever reason, something hasn't clicked in for them moving forward, because I still look at them and go, you know what? I don't count them out. Now, this is going to hurt. I don't think there's any question about that, but I don't know. You look at this team, and can you chalk it up to sometimes it just doesn't work in that said year? That seems to be the easy way out, but they've had a lot of different things that go on. I get it, but I still think the people they put out there on the field should be better than what they are.
To me, looking from the outside in, I say, well, okay, yeah, they have a shot, right? They have to play leapfrog, which would be very difficult. Look at the standings on the right. Yeah, it's 4.5, but look how many teams you have to climb over. That's the issue. But my question would be this. If you're not in, why do you still have J.D. Martinez? Why do you still have Nate Eovaldi? That's where I get lost. I'm not quite sure that they knew if they're in or out. Am I overreaching?
No, not at all. And I think I relate what they're doing, what they're going through right now, what the front office is or was thinking at the deadline, to kind of what the Cubs did. The Cubs still sold a few pieces, but held on to a couple as well. We hear reports that maybe their asking price is a little bit too high. But yeah, there were definitely some players that it seemed like Boston could have moved on from if they wanted to go that route. I thought they were good enough that they could have added a few pieces and potentially still had a chance to make a run. Yeah, it's very confusing because they didn't add those pieces that you would want to see added for a team who really was lacking as far as pitching goes, all year. Whether it's been injuries or whether it was coming into the season, they've had to use guys like Tanner Houck, whether it was in the rotation early, now he's at the back end of the bullpen. Garrett Whitlock has kind of done both. They've had to mix those guys around. Rich Hill, they didn't know what they were going to get from him. He was good early. He hasn't been as good of late. He's on the mound for them tonight. So it's been an interesting situation, but to Bill's point, there's been some underperformance, and it's one of those seasons, much like the White Sox, where you kind of go, okay, what's been going on, because something isn't working for this team, and it doesn't seem that apparent, because if you look at the back of the baseball cards, there are still some guys having great years like Xander Bogaerts, like Rafael Devers, and J.D. Martinez.
Yeah, and because we're talking about the Red Sox with an off year, next year, look out. Yeah. That's what they do.